Hey, what's going on YouTube? Today I'm here to show you my 6-pet StamSorc build for the Deadlands DLC. As a disclaimer, this build is not intended for group content, especially anything that has hard mechanics, including vet dungeons and vet trials. The build itself is very fun to play and has a lot of visual effects. I like to call it the visual clutter build. Moving along, this build is capable of pulling over 90k on the parse dummy and is viable for most endgame content in terms of raw DPS. This build specializes in pulling as much damage as possible while causing the most visual annoyance, so therefore is not intended for group content. As I stated earlier, this build is meant for fun and is not optimized for solo play either, such as solo arena, soloing overland, etc. In short, don't use this build unless you know that it's okay to run something like this. And if you do, I'm not responsible. As a fun side note, this causes way more visual clutter than the 6-pet StamSorc build. So without further ado, here's the build. So as per usual, I have 64 points in stamina and I'm running the Thief Mundus. For this particular build, I am a Dark Elf. Other viable options include Khajiit, Orc, or any other races that benefit stamina DPS. Moving on to consumables, for harder content, I'm running RTM Takeaway Broth. For anything easier or a cheaper alternative will be Dubious Cameron Throne. And if you need more sustain than that, or you're parsing, Lavafoot Soup and Salt Rice is always the go-to. For potions, I'm running Essence of Weapon Power, which will give you major savagery, brutality, and endurance. All three buffs that are very important for stamina DPS. These potions do cost a little bit to make, so make sure you have 3 points in a medicinal passive to ensure maximum uptime on the buffs. Moving on to CP, we're going to be running Fighting Finesse, Master at Arms, Deadly Aim, and Backstabber. And for the red tree, we're going to be running Boundless Vitality, Fortified, Rejuvenation, Bloody Renewal. So for the skills, we're going to be running Bound Ornaments, Crystal Weapon, Barb Trap, Unstable Clan Fear, Twilight Tormentor, and Dawnbreaker. Backbar Stampede, Carve, Hurricane, Clan Fear, Twilight Tormentor, and Greater Storm Atronach. So for the rotation, for the dynamic rotation, you just want to keep skills up in a priority order. You're going to start off with Cleave, Stampede, Barb Trap, Hurricane, Elemental Weapon, Crystal Weapon, and you want to make sure you hit Bound Ornaments every 4th skill. And when your Greater Storm Atronach is ready, just replace the Crystal Weapon, and that should be it. So if you want an easier rotation, and just run Carve, Stampede, Hurricane, Barb Trap, Crystal Weapon. If you want to incorporate Bound Ornaments, you could just cast it every 4th skill as in the rotation prior. But if you're struggling to use it properly or can't be bothered to use it, then it's probably not worth running. So for the gear, we're running Defiler Dagger, Nirnhoned, and Charged with a Poison and Flame damage glyph, Maelstrom Perfected Greatsword with an Infused Weapon damage glyph. We're running Maul the Inferno, Head and Shoulder. Head is in light, shoulder is in medium, both max stam, traded in divines. On the body, we're running 5-piece Aegis Collar, all max stam, traded in divines. And then for the jewelry, we're running Defiler Jewelry, all weapon damage enchants, traded in Bloodthirsty. So as per usual, some final thoughts. This 6-pet Sorc build is a lot worse than the magical one that I did, and it's because I'm running Aegis Collar and that set is really visually annoying. Furthermore, parsing on this thing was an absolute nightmare. I could not keep track of what I was doing and when I was doing it. And lastly, I'd like to take this moment to just reiterate my disclaimer that this is not meant for anything hard, otherwise people in your group may get upset at you. And I think that wraps it up for the build section. So I'd like to take this time and say thank you for watching my video, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability in a timely fashion. As a reminder, if this video helped in any way, please help the channel grow by subscribing and liking the video. Feel free to stick around for an attached parse at the end. If not, have a great day and thank you again.